For Yabama Obibia Aqua Shunkuso at the Aba Ghana politics are very so. Send your Dana and Namusum for good about politics there. Obi, any in the Chebi, Obi, any and Kebi, the answer from any so at the Bremo. And then your call political highway, so no, in Semibre, and I assume Aqua, and 70 minutes, say, you know, a year Chief Justice Baffour money, and when a petition be from unknown. Now. Same video, Obiara cast a video. One day on na. Why ye evidence? Why ye me Francis chemistries be every room, Akaku, the or the petition a buy. A dream manager say the sick man, no know why a NPP man, or no why Asante a Bediatuo and a actual petition at the Chief Justice Baffour all can a Sam Gyamfi on some election or actually Sammy Gyamfi is not the right person to be the CEO of Cocoa Board near the other. Right now, no, I hear Obiara was, hey, Naka Sammy Bediatuo the Asante Bediatuo the no be saying if I'm home by right now or no, at matter petition at the Chief Justice Baffour said Kayin to a Sammy Gyamfi at the Chief Justice Baffour so not just say only concrete evidence we are just say also utuna there so it was for me me Simon so like you ready and share subscribe to the channel and send we are political trending news there ko there be ano once more depend say money be djuma na money djuma there we abu me da obi bia as mo yenko ni nkotie J innocent and some okafa me da obi bia
or friends Iran, America, and Israel, I have some impact in a way. Higher oil and gas prices around the world. I shall see a shooty. And Makacho said we are lucky. Said the dollar has been tamed.
Exactly.
And, naturally, in that mitigation factor, no, I kicked in. And yes, I be anke. Yenim kwanye faswa yeto petrol. There has been some speculations around, but oko pumping. I think there are some who are still selling at 13.9, 13 and then 12.9, and those kind of depending on where you go. So actually say oko America see people are crying over gas prices, and no cry can hold in a man for the pressure to Donald Trump to say on ceasefire because the economic impact of this whole thing on the global we know are very high, but Ghana Makacho said because of this natural we never around in and the president has also shown concern. Emergency cabinet meeting was called just to ensure some of these things. We see on my what's my problem, baba. But problem the approach of leadership is everything. Say you are really in charge, you're concerned about the people, and yes nipa no complaining na president would the priorities of the people and yet the priority of the president na mom or pursue a certain perverted priority. For instance, when the economy broke down and Ghanaians were complaining, the state was financing cathedral, which was not a priority at the time. You understand?
I get it.
It's good to say President Mahama availing the mind to the concerns of Ghana for FAC. And as a president, admitted the need to do something about the circumstances in the situation. That is leadership 101, and for me, I think that is good. So we are all monitoring the space. And right now, I'll say, Oba bombed the hell out of Iran. I'll take them back to the Stone Age. Yes, no, some agreement was reached. Amazon. Immediately now, your friend is saying the global stage now, oil prices are falling significantly. And the coming days, sure say you better reverse it back to your friend is saying the usual way now. So this is a temporary kind of something. I think the government use as a political tool. So
Russia Ukraine war
but that comparison
I think
it's so weak, it's so narrow, and sometimes people who are executing this kind of propaganda, because you see we've gotten to a point NDCAAB NTSUAA why you are in this particular way, because you might be forced to do certain analysis and make sense by your twisted thing. You are justifying because the circumstances are quite different. I'm telling you that right now, no answer na President Mahama we saw the state of the economy and how far he has brought the economy of this particular country amidst this global turbulence. We are still paying.
Yeah.
DDEP now defaulted. The president is still paying Ghanaians. You understand?
Yeah.
The economy is doing a single digit. The dollar is stable. So the circumstances and the dynamics are midst of this war. And don't forget that this is the biggest war in the last 30 years since the Cold War. No, this is the largest open war. And the impact and the consequences in here so overwhelming and so overreaching. Will be Iraq by and your friends say other war by the war in Libya higher by. But scale no a bien war as compared to what is involved in this particular war. And Ukraine-Russia war at the same time is being fought on the sidelines vis-a-vis this particular thing happening. Yet, because the only thing Ghana for suffer from this oil. The economy is stable. Obianu are default on our debt, and then the projections, the economic numbers, BBR is on track. Today, government will resist 7-year bond. I know people will be rushing to buy because there is trust, there is confidence. And the Akufo-Addo presidency, Adia Bakwa, MXC, your casualty under in Ghana, and your trust and confidence as citizens. But now that confidence to a certain extent is being restored. I am not saying that it's fully restored, but it is being restored because we hope and trust and confidence you can do any survey prior to the election, and today will be totally different, you understand? So these are the gains the country will once again move from the trenches. Baby, there is light at the end of the tunnel. And the one significant thing has to do with this reparation and the fact that the UN resolution adopted it and classified that particular thing as the biggest crime against humanity in the history of this country. The reparation aspect as to whether they will pay or not, that one is not my concern, but to get it certified, said the biggest crime against humanity, that transatlantic slave trade, no, that is enough. And it will be a reminder, and it will be on the conscience of the world that this is what you did to Africa, and we are here. We may be in a shit show, but you cannot exonerate yourself, because as a result of that, most society, nipa, society, resources, society, everything you took it away, and it's the reason why Africa is still stuck in this old world. You quite fast to pay. Now, not in Sembuna, cost or Cameroon. Poor Beya, when you know, I potato.
So I appointed
Neba, right? Father, I am the vice president, and yet not just vice president, or the army. Who say naturally the president is the commander of the armed forces. I say, why vice president and the commander of the because no one potato. Or who in the banner or their ascendancy, and that's why I say I am the delegate for defense. So defense ministry is on another no. And the baby and Tokabi Fraba able to know Nevada no we see no coin. And this nonsense is allowed. And Oba went to African Union, went to ECOWAS, went to be okay with it because they did this under the guise of constitutionalism. And everything is okay. So I think that Africa is a wake up call for us. We can always be sitting here and look at, Ukraine-Russia war, Iran this war. What are the shock absorbers as a continent? From some of these things because Africa our better refinery. You refine oil, no crude, and as a form of we could have traded among ourselves. You bet skip this global shocks and then as a form, but no such incentive do exist. So obviously, we sit here, whatever happened at the global stage, we become a victim. I think this is a learning curve for us. Let us begin to realize our potential. When it comes to human resources, when it comes to natural resources, everything we have it in abundance. But I never quite to put these things together. You understand? But I think consciousness, modernity has come in its wake with a lot of enlightenment. Who how to cross the lines and put these things to proper use. See we can match our potential. Young people here will become very useful to the economy. Or might be able to you need to have healthy, young, energetic people on that economy because they take the risk, they invest. Now, these 70 years of investor, then they're thinking about their pension scheme. Or they bring a strain on the economy. Young people help the economy to grow. And this, if you don't realize this potential and empower young people in your country, you will never. It's the reason why Africa is going nowhere. Because every single young person in Africa is either impoverished or pushed into some sort of a captivity. Your potential is never respected. And your growth is stagnated. You go to America, a 21-year-old guy, out to buy a mortgage, what tough year, what take a car. You see, there is economic activity. and that helped the expansion. What the Chroma 20 years, but be a car garage, crab to make a for a campus or could be sat in the board. People not tongue car
yeah.
So you see, that is the culture. But on the other way around, it's supposed to be opposite. We must begin to empower young people and make sure, say, we stimulate growth. I bet me stimulate economic dominance because young people becoming self-sufficient economically. We have had self-sufficient, no, and about one economy because so when you're economically independent, you can't take independent. You can't. Because so we have political space assemble will be a can there will be a cancer about the can be because will be a person and because I the obedi bubble but yeah build the society economically you don't give a damn about what somebody says. You understand that? Yeah. So Africa and America says poverty has been used as a deliberate political tool to cow people into submission, subjugation. And you know, at the end of the day, there is a total control, total dominance. But we have to reverse it because that is the only way. And it's the reason why we are not respected at the world stage.
Okay.
UN for taking resolution or taking away Africa. We are nowhere to be found. But we are so poor, we are bringing a lot of things to the table in Africa because all the natural resources, those for military arsenals, whatever, including human resource. But why are we not being respected? Because young Kassan, we don't even realize your potential. And at the world stage, you know, devoid of economic dominance, to them you are useless. The other can be serious, and it is normal. Now could PM meeting and now be no be say it's the same thing, you understand? Yeah. So I think we need to begin to put resources together, realize our potential as a continent, and see how you bet me facing the world that is emerging. Because if you look at the geopolitical arena, and America is asserting the dominance, the middle powers are also regrouping. Africa, what are we doing? Health financing crisis a problem. It's the reason why I commend President Mahama when he decided to come out with this health summit initiative. I bet substitute for maybe World Health Organization in the because Africa must stand ready. Because the diseases actually say borderless. It can just come from anywhere. How prepared and how ready you are. COVID actually in answer. So I think these are some of the things that we need to put in place to ensure we fix Africa.
All right. So far so good at that thing. And some no best force you know unless you were not following. Yeah. If we're following, you know, say what cut up is verse 3 and a boom. And thank you so much. And see, and at the other Ebeshas, Mano James, thank you. What them watch me, dear Matse, why me that's papa, my Joe, so good morning. And I pay Isaac Zion, I pay also my Joe, so Madame say, Mode me who achemene, Ivan Abadiane say, me who atomy. All right. I think from another Wednesday, right? Yeah. From Tuesday, that conversation we started here. Say President Mahama say development in the money economy. No said the SCI focus now more no. And LGBTQ plus the priority. I think this whole thing drag from is it Lincoln University? Yes, or no Andre Award. Almost say a group of people. Aqua University, Aqua Cultural School, they say, or more part of the school. I think they could be stakeholders or something. Aqua Cultural School, they say, one to say, or more person, President Mahama Honorary Award. And that award, they are not in support because President Mahama, on so many occasions, was here LGBTQ. Into a mom penny, and mom fasa award and mano. Sa conversation, no, and I drag free one baby, I do CCA. Ama in team for Joe, Reverend in team for Joe. Oh, yeah, NP. A minority mo. Wafana World Cup or say, Adiana President Mahama, you know, your politics, no, the LGBTQ plus bill, no cray, and no more person will be signed. And the man on our fellow so for Sukachoka said, for now, no, and you no cry your minor priority because priority near say, acquiring near hospitals, near economy, near markets, and I don't know what's so emotional no more. But I think the minority had a press conference on it again, and they were saying, say, the government is doing politics with this whole LGBTQ plus.
Yeah, I think that it's funny the sort of country we find ourselves in. And consistently you could see some catches the MPP consistently replace intellectualism with a bit of some sort of idiocy because you see they don't make sense anymore. And it's quite frustrating to see a political party over the years and a man for a title as a party of elite. Now and are degenerating to the gutters where they almost take arguments how to argue the point out. Sabaya Ghana some fine understanding, you know. They don't. They still think say we are still back in the Stone Age where you can incite emotions, whip sentiments for political expediency. You know that era is long gone. You see, I was shocked. Mete say yes, a press conference on this particular matter, and it's very embarrassing. It's unfortunate that this gentleman is consistently dragging the MPP into the gutters. That guy, he's just shopping attention. He's an attention-seeking freak. That is what I see. Because was it not the same gentleman who said, "Say, playing biaba basi tamak so your friend is saying cocaine in as if when he was called not some passe or Ghana to say like a coward." And such people should not be given any saying seriousness. But it's unfortunate the media we find ourselves in will always give oxygen of publicity to some of this nonsense to glide. First of all, establishing the baseline rule. Ghana hayati menewo any obia is against or nobody is in support of this emerging insanity called the LGBT whatever. That is the baseline because our culture everything is against it. But ya also be LGBT we meet me kwa attack because no na pay. No so be ya that is his business. But ya see your chrome ha no. E from our culture everything Ghanaian you know it's not in line with those emerging insanity never be market chief or also person call you bad that particular thing and that is the established conventional red lines I established here over the years prior to Akufo-Addo time there were some advocacy. A lot of people were involved asking say yam pass a certain law now you making sure say yam rather high say no kwaya sa man there are consequences because the existing laws no any remedy for those things. The law was pushed to parliament, parliament passé transmitted to the president to sign. They used certain shenanigans and some mind games just to ensure say the president could not sign that particular bill. At that time Tim Fordjoa was walking on the moon and he didn't see the need to put pressure on his own government Akufo-Addo to have that particular bill ascended to because I was
Yankopon show bibi ojebre ehwe adwumediwe ye do bibi ase ha no me Ghana politics avenue so dan da se ne ye no na musu for good political trending news the echo and the eba and na yen ya Japanese ya bebra mu ya Bediatuo and ye tifo Yankopon show bibi ojebre ehwe adwumediwe like adwumedie no notification bell so se ne ebe ya dan da political trending news we are the tuma won so onsa betumi akebe ha na mbre ema mkwan se me see makram